Tutorial about adding a poll everywhere question into a Google slide deck presentation that you may be teaching with. Once you have installed the Poll Everywhere extension within your Google Drive and logged in, you will notice that as I am in my Google slide presentation mode, along the top toolbar, there is now a tab for Poll Everywhere. So when I'm ready to add a poll within my Google slide presentation, I'll simply add a new slide. And if I want my poll to be located on this slide, I will click Poll Everywhere. At this point in time, I can add a new poll, one that I'm going to create on the spot, or I can insert a poll that I've already created. So let's look at that first. So I'll go to Insert, Poll, and this will take me actually to my Poll Everywhere account that I'm logged into. So if I would like to insert this poll about what is your favorite subject, I simply click that, click Insert Poll, and it's going to place it here. Now, when you're presenting from here, this will show and it will not activate the poll until you're actually teaching and in present mode. So when you actually want to use this, you need to be in present mode. So you'll notice if I click present mode, and it'll take it a second for everything to pass through the cloud, and my question will appear. This is the URL that you will give students, and their information and responses will populate here. When you're done and ready for the next slide, you'll actually just click through your presentation. I actually don't have any more slides, so I'm just going to exit my presenter mode and go back to my creation mode. Likewise, if I would like to just add a new poll and I don't already have a poll created, I can again go to my slide, click on Poll Everywhere, and click New Poll. And at this point, I will add my new question. What is your favorite subject? And I want this to be open-ended, and I'd like to see the responses in a word cloud. So I set my parameters, however I choose for them to be, and whatever meets my instructional needs. Simply click Insert, and again, it will populate my poll. Once again, to activate this poll, you'll have to be in present mode, and it will again generate the URL for your students to access the poll, and you'll have live data feeding in right directly into your presentation as you are teaching. This is actually a very awesome tool. Once you run that extension, it is very easy to use and very user-friendly. Unlike when you're running a Poll Everywhere out of your actual Poll Everywhere account, you do not have to activate anything when it is inserted within your Google slide. Once you hit present mode and advance to that slide, it is automatically activated, so that's kind of nice as well. However, if you're going to use this with multiple classes, after each class, you will want to navigate to your Poll Everywhere account and clear the results so that when your new class comes in, there's no data from the previous class there for them to observe or to skew your formative assessment of that particular class. So, how do I clear the data from a poll that is embedded within my Google slide presentation in between classes so that I can reuse it with my next class and not have skewed data with that class? What you will need to do is open another tab and go to your Poll Everywhere account. I've already accessed mine, so I'm just going to click over to that tab. And you'll notice here in my What is your favorite subject poll, I have one response. So I want to clear this response out before my next class comes in. What you will need to do is click on the little box in front of the question to activate it. And then in the toolbar above that, you are simply going to scroll over to Clear. Click Clear, and you will notice at that point my responses are back to 0. I've already made a mental note of what I've learned from my formative data in my previous class or had live discussions with my children and students as that data appeared, and now I'm ready to go and activate this poll within my Google slide presentation for my next class.